I'm going to go over the major systems and major organs of each system and function, just a overall view. So for integumentary, you need to know that the skin is the major organ, and the overall function of the integumentary system is to protect you from anything, heat, invaders. So it's like the first organ of protection. Also know that nails, hair, and there's glands and receptors in the skin's layer. For the skeletal, you want to know these words: bones, joints, tendons, ligaments, and cartilage. They are the second line of defense, this system, and it also provides you with the shape that you have. Think of the skeletal systems as the protector of the major organs. Muscular system, N for muscular system, M for muscles, M for movement. So the function of the muscular system is movement. Nervous system. You want to know that there's two parts. The brain and the spinal cord make up the central nervous system, and the nerves make up the peripheral nervous system. And their overall function is to gather information, store information, and control all functions. All right, moving on. We're going to go to the circulatory system. You want to know that the blood, the heart, and vessels, such as capillaries and veins, are responsible, and arteries, are responsible for carrying nutrients and oxygen waste throughout the body. You don't have to know these two systems for this test. Then we've got the digestive system. You want to know it starts with the mouth, and digestion in mammals begins there with saliva, and then it travels through the esophagus, into the stomach, through the small intestine, through the large intestine, and then out the anus. Those are the major organs for the flow of the system. You also want to know that liver, gallbladder, pancreas are also part of the, and the appendix, are also part of the respiratory system, digestive system, where they help filter waste. Then we move on to, if I could move on, respiratory. We've got nasal cavity. Digestive is responsible for processing food and digesting nutrients. Nasal cavity is responsible for the exchange between carbon dioxide and oxygen within your body. It comes in through the nasal cavity, which could be the mouth or the nose. It travels through the pharynx, down the trachea. Through the pharynx. Epiglottis determines if it's going to go into the trachea, which is what we want, and then into the lungs. And you also want to know that the diaphragm helps expand or contract the lungs and helps with the breathing. Excretory systems, it filters waste. It starts in the kidneys, and then it travels through the ureter into the urinary bladder, and those are the organs you have to know. For reproductive system, I want you to know that there's four main functions: to produce eggs and sperm, to produce hormones, to transport and sustain these cells, and nurture developing offspring. Okay? And you also have to know this order. Once an egg gets fertilized, it's called a zygote, and then it develops into an embryo. Actually,